After my NYC, when I went for my first interview, I was telling myself, what if they don't pick me? I didn't study this in school. I don't know if I'm going to get the job. So I got in a conversation with someone, and she was telling me about her qualification. She had 3 years experience in that field. What she studied was in line with what that field was what that job wanted. I told myself, oh, you see why I said I could not call. This is not my job. This job is not for me. And here I am. I did not even study it in school. I don't even have any experience. And how can I get this job? Oh God, it's such a waste that I'm here. Hello, my name is Juliet Israel, and today I'm going to be talking about self-sabotage. I was going to talk about how to stop self-sabotaging, but then I thought, what if some people do not even know that they are self-sabotaging? So for today, I'm going to focus on 7 telltale signs that you are constantly self-sabotaging. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss my next video when it drops. And please don't forget to leave a like, share this video with someone you love, someone you care about, and comment and let me know what your thoughts are as regards this video. Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about 7 signs that you are constantly self-sabotaging yourself. So, but first of all, what exactly is self-sabotage? So to self-sabotage means to deliberately destruct or deliberately destroy or obstruct your own self, because it's self, right? So you're deliberately destructing yourself. But you may say, oh, but I don't deliberately destroy myself. I will not deliberately hurt myself. But there are some things, the patterns of behavior, some things that you do that are actually self-sabotaging acts. And today we're going to be highlighting those things. We're going to be highlighting at least 7 of them and looking at them one after the other, and you may be able to see if you're actually doing this. And next week we're going to talk about what to do to stop it, right? So the first one, what are some of the signs, what are some of the signs that you're self-sabotaging? Before I go into talking about the signs that you're self-sabotaging, it's important to note that self-sabotaging could really, if you're constantly in your own way, you will not be able to get a lot of things done. You would miss out on a lot of activities, and before you even get to get in on something, you've already held yourself back from getting that thing. So it could really be bad for you in the long run if you constantly do engage in self-sabotaging acts and you do not stop. So here are some of the signs that you are self-sabotaging. Number 1, avoidance. So you tend to avoid people or situations that make you feel uncomfortable. Now, I know that it's important to avoid toxic people. We don't want toxic people in our lives, or people that make us feel bad about ourselves. But when you're constantly avoiding situations that make you feel uncomfortable, for instance, you're not just situations, right? You're constantly avoiding situations, and then as well people as well. So maybe those people are having some conversations that you feel, oh, these conversations are too technical for me, or these conversations are too high for me to understand, and I do not want to be left out. You're constantly avoiding people and situations that make you feel uncomfortable. Maybe they remind you that you're supposed to, there are things that you need to work on yourself. Maybe they're probably very good at what they do, and then you feel like they make you uncomfortable. Their being there makes you feel like they being in that place where you are as well makes you feel like nothing. You tend to avoid those kind of people, even though they're not bad per se. You tend to just want to avoid them, right? So you also avoiding situations. You don't want to box yourself up. You don't want to be put in situations that could make you feel so uncomfortable. So you're constantly avoiding those kind of situations. You're constantly avoiding those kind of people that could make you feel insignificant. Then you probably are self-sabotaging. Number 2 is perfectionism, or attempting to gain people's approval. So You are trying to be perfect at whatever you're doing. You're doing something and then you want it to be so perfect. Why? Because you want people to approve of it, right? So you want people to approve of it. You want people to say, oh, that was a very nice job. So I'm doing this video and I'm like, oh, I have to be, I take like 10 shots, right? And I'm like, oh, no, this is not good. Oh, I smile too much here. Oh, that's bad. Oh, and you're trying to make everything perfect. Well, it's good to be good at what we do or what we're doing, but if you are a perfectionist, you're not even going to get anything done, because everything you do is never going to be good enough for you. And the reason you're doing that is because you are attempting to gain the approval of others. So perhaps you're a writer and then you're supposed to write a script, and then you've written a script, a very good script if others say it, and then you tear it out and you're like, oh, it's not good enough, nobody's going to like it, they're going to say this is crap, they're going to say this is not good. So you tear it off and then you start all over again and you write it again and you tear it off again. You keep doing it over and over again. If you're a perfectionist, like I said earlier on, nothing is ever good enough for you. So and this is really bad, right? This is really bad. So that means that's one of the signs that you probably are self-sabotaging. And number 3, comparison. So you're constantly comparing yourself to other people. Now, I know that we may have role models or people that we look up to and we want to be like, but when you're constantly comparing yourself with the next person, and it's usually sometimes in the negative. So you're comparing yourself to someone who has a better house. You're comparing yourself with someone who has a better shape. You're comparing yourself with someone who has a better job. You're comparing yourself, everything. You're comparing yourself to people, and all of them, they all seem to be doing well, doing better than you, and you're constantly trying to play catch up with them. You're comparing yourself with the next person, comparing yourself with someone who did better, always comparing yourself. Then that may be a sign that you may be self-sabotaging. So number 4 is procrastination. Now, procrastination in the sense that you're taking actions that do not seem to align with your goals and values. So for instance, you're supposed to submit an article, say in 2 days, but instead of going ahead to work on the article, you probably bring it out and you're like, okay, what do I need to do? I need to make research, I need to align my thoughts together, put down my thoughts together, and whatever you need to do to get the article ready before the deadline. And instead of actually doing all that and working on that task, you're like, let me cook something first. And you're done cooking. Oh, let me wash my clothes. You're done washing. Oh, let me paint the house. Or let me do something. You're taking action, and of course they may be seemingly important things, but they are not the most important thing right now. So you're taking actions on the things that do not align with your goal. They do not match your goal. So you have a goal that you're supposed to meet. You have a deadline, but you are procrastinating. You're putting it off. You don't want to get to it. You don't want to settle down and get to it immediately. You don't want to start it immediately. You're just pushing it and doing other things, right? Doing other things that may be seemingly important but do not align with your goal right now. So that may be a sign that you are self-sabotaging. And number 5 is staying within your comfort zone and avoiding change. So you are where you are and you just feel like, okay, since I'm good here or since I'm comfortable here, I probably do not need to push further. So you probably are in a toxic job, and instead of quitting and going for something else, you feel like, if I leave this job, I'm not going to get something else. If I do this, you're in an abusive relationship and you're like, if I leave this person, I'm not going to find someone who is going to love me like they do. I may not find someone who is going to accept me wholly. So let me just accept this person, despite the fact that I'm not comfortable here. Let me just manage. So you're putting up with so many things. You're putting up with people, putting up with several situations, and you're doing all that, right? You're doing all that because you are scared of change. You're avoiding change. You don't want to you're staying where you are because you feel like you're already used to whatever it is that you have right now. You're already used to the environment. You're already used to where you are, right? And you do not want to leave that space, which is your comfort zone. You do not want to leave because you're not sure you're going to find something better elsewhere, right? So you're staying in your comfort zone. So that is a sign that you may be self-sabotaging. And then number 6 is making excuses. Now I know that we all come up with excuses one time or the other for different things that we may not want to do or at a particular time. But when you're constantly making excuses on things that actually should matter, then you may be self-sabotaging. So maybe someone walks up to you and like, oh, can we hang out later, later this week? I'd love to really hang out with you. And you're like, oh, I have something important to do. I have some work that I need to finish up. I don't think I will be available. So maybe there's a job that you are qualified for and you are supposed to submit your application. And maybe a colleague has even said, oh, Darren, have you seen this job? I think you're good for it. I think you should submit an application. And you're like, oh, I'll do it. And you tell yourself, I don't think I'm ready yet. I don't think I'm qualified. I don't think I'm this. So you're constantly making excuses not to, submit the application. You always find an excuse to give not to do that thing. If it's a productive thing, a positive thing that you're supposed to do, you constantly find something else that would make you not to do that. So that may be a sign that you are self-sabotaging. And then finally, number 7, negative self-talk. Whoa, this is big because I think that we all tend to do this from time to time. Maybe not all of us, but then negative self-talk is a very big one. So that's why I actually put it at the end. So you are constantly talking down on yourself, right? You're constantly telling yourself how not good enough you are, how not beautiful you are, how untalented you are, how insignificant you are. So you're constantly telling yourself, I don't think I really like that. I really would want that job, but I don't think I qualify. I really would like that girl, but I don't think she's gonna like me back. I don't think she'll say yes. Or I really should go out on that date, but I think if I just go out, I'm just gonna mess things up. I don't think they're gonna like me. I really should talk to my boss about a raise, but I don't think he's going to accept. I don't think they're going to give me that raise or give me that promotion. I really want this, but I don't think I'm ready. I really want to go and chase my dreams, but I don't think I'm ready for it. So you're constantly putting yourself down instead and not going after the things that you feel you should get. You're not going after the things that you really desire. You're not going after your heart desires because you feel you're not good enough, because you feel there's someone else better than you, because you feel someone else is more equipped or more talented to get it than you. So let me tell you a story. Sometimes in 2017, after my NYC, when I went for my first interview, I got there. In fact, before I even went for that interview, it was hell. I was telling myself, what if they don't pick me? I didn't study this in school. I don't know if I'm going to get the job. So I almost did not go, but because I needed the job bad, and I didn't have money at the time, so I okay, let me just go. So I went for the job. I went to the interview, and at the interview I met other people who applied for the job and came in for the same interview. So I got in a conversation with someone, and she was telling me about her qualification. She had 3 years experience in that field. What she studied was in line with what that field was, what that job wanted. And here was I was coming from a different field entirely. I had 0 experience because I was fresh out of school, fresh out of NYC, and was jobless. I told myself, oh, you see why I said I could not call. This is not my job. This job is not for me. See this girl, she has 3 years experience. She has all the qualifications. She has all the skills. She even studied that in school. And here I am. I did not even study it in school. I don't even have any experience. And how can I get this job? Oh God, it's such a waste that I'm here. So I was just feeling like, oh, let me just go to my house because I don't think I qualify. I don't think I get levels for in this place, And funnily enough, during the interview stage, we asked some questions and all of that, and we all did our interview and we all went home. Guess what? I got home, and some days later I got a mail telling me that I crossed to the next stage. And when I went for the next stage, that particular lady that I said, oh, she's good enough, she did not qualify to the next stage. It was just me and someone else entirely. And then there again, my self-sabotaging tendencies came up again. I'm like, oh, okay, you crossed the first stage, you're never going to get it, you're never going to cross to the next stage, because obviously you do not have any experience. You're looking for someone with 2 years experience and you don't even have one. So how are you going to get it? And then I did that interview and the next stage, and I was tensed all through. I was really tensed. I didn't think that I should be there. In fact, I felt like I'm not supposed to be there. Maybe they needed a mistake or something. And after the interview, I went home, and a few days later again, I got called and I was told that I got the job. And that's how I got the job. So this is why we must work hard and try to stop self-sabotaging. So in my next video, I'm going to talk about how to stop self-sabotaging. So do subscribe to this YouTube channel so you do not miss out on it when it eventually drops. And don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, and share this video with someone that you actually care about, or your loved ones, friends and family. Please do that, as it helps with the YouTube algorithm. And thank you. See you next time. Bye bye. I told myself, oh, you see why I said I should not call, but you do not miss out on it when it drops. So in my next video, I'm going to talk about how to self-sabotaging. So in my next okay, so in my next, it's just making me laugh, it's funny to me. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to be serious now and say, so in my next video I'm going to talk about how to okay, so in my next video I'm going to talk about how to when you're constantly like trying to do catch up, and you're constantly playing catch up with them, or making everything possible. Hello. So for today, I am going to focus on 11 signs. Sorry, no, I'm not giving 11 signs. Okay. Okay. If you're new to this channel, please leave a like. Please, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe to my YouTube. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification button. Is it button? If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification button so you do not miss. Is it button? And turn on the notification bell so you do not miss another episode of this. What's my episode? Okay. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss another video when it drops. So the dictionary defines sabotage as so the definition of okay, but first of all, what exactly is self-sabotage? Oh, before I go into the signs that you're actually self-sabotaging, I want you to know that self-sabotaging is actually a bad thing, or my thoughts not together, or when those people come in, it feels like they have the whole show. They have someone comes to you and like, oh, can we have lunch later today? And so maybe someone comes to you and say, oh, can we have lunch later today? let's just, why am I always talking about lunch? So it's like a life lunch. Whoa, this is big, because most of the time I think we tend to do this from time to time. Okay, so you're constantly telling myself, no, not me. So you're constantly belittling yourself. You're constantly belittling. So you're constantly belittling. So you're constantly, let me just say the one that I can say, because, Abby, what am I supposed to